You want me to restart the whole computer? Because I've restarted vMix a couple times, when it's changed it. No, I mean, the computer was off, so I turned it on. Okay. Okay, so I'm getting out of everything and restarting. Okay.
All right. Byron, who's pitching? Barry? Patrick Barry. Okay. My remote talent is having issues with his computer, so I got to call it. If you have a roster or a program, that'd be awesome. Do you have a roster? Oh, shit. Nah, that'd be too late. It's all good. All right. We are live from Lancaster here on SoCalCollegeSports.com. CCCAA baseball from Antelope Valley College. I am Mike Cepeda. We will be joined shortly by Jeff Stoynoff. Patrick Barry on the mound. Starting today for the Marauders. Marauders with a win early in the week versus Canyons, and the Cougars looking to even it up on the week. There we see Barry. Ball and strike. That one fouled off. Good thing I have a conversation with Matt Robinson earlier this week. And it's Jovan Camacho leading things off for the Cougars. Now an outside, ring him up. An early strikeout for Barry. And that's going to bring up Mikey Kane. Mikey Kane, a huge bat lineup for the Cougars. USC bound. We can get a good look at Mikey Kane. Kane flies it right center. And there's an issue in the outfield, and that should be scored in there. Kane, meanwhile, thinking about three, and he'll have it. And I wonder if that's going to be how they're going to score that. So, Jeff, can you hear us?
All right, check.
You are live. I have you. Jeff, can you hear? So a runner at third early here for the Cougars, and they can get on the board. All right, let's see if we can get a number here. This is Doyle Kane. If he can bring home his brother. And it looks like he's going to do just that. This is going to the gap in right center. There's going to be extra bases. Early 1-0 lead. And Kane, back-to-back triples. Well, I don't know if the first one was a triple, but certainly this one is. So Doyle Kane to the track in right center An RBI triple here in the first inning. Only one out. And it just continues to get worse for AVC because this is going to bring up the biggest bat, arguably, in the lineup, in Tafton Hensley. And Barry certainly aware of the power Hensley has. That's a pretty good off-speed pitch. See Barry pulling the string there and Hensley well out in front. Another off-speed, this one outside. 1-0. Early on, Cougars in front of Antelope Valley. AVC and COC here on SoCalCollegeSports.com, 3C2A Baseball. Good afternoon. First and third now after the walk to Hensley. That'll bring up Steven Gonzalez. First and third. There goes the runner. First and third, and they're not going to get him. Doyle has to hold. It's good recovery at short for AVC, limiting the runner. See the throw there. Not in time. Pretty good jump for Hensley at first. So second and third now. Apologies, we are having some technical difficulties. Barry delivers, and this one going opposite, right center. This should be far enough to bring home Doyle and advance both runners, and it is. So sacrifice fly will result in a 2-0 lead for the Cougars here in the top of the first. And it just keeps on getting worse for AVC. Hensley will come in to scores 3-0. Barrels up in the left. And Barry in trouble. Big trouble here in the first. Ballesteros. Now your batter. First pitch swing, and this could be two. Double play ball? No. Didn't need it. As the force out done at second base. We head to the bottom half of the first. 3-0 COC.
check. I'm showing myself. What's that? Bottom of the first inning. Coming up, and the Marauders already in a hole, trailing at 3-0. And leading it off will be Mason Johnson against right-hander Brandon Whiting for the Cougars, who took advantage of 3 hits and a walk, wave and a miss. And no balls and a strike on Johnson. Yes. 0-1 pitch, high fastball, and another swing and a miss. And Johnson now in a hole, no balls and 2 strikes. Take you back to that pitch, and Whiting just rearing back and firing. Already been staked to the 3-0 lead. Going to go right after these Marauder hitters. Fouled out of play. No balls and 2 strikes on Johnson. Mason, 5'10", out of Quartz Hill High School. A freshman. 0-2 pitch. Back up the middle and a base hit. The Marauders get things going in the bottom of the first. Johnson leads things off with a single. Leadoff man aboard. And that'll bring up Nuno. Josh Nuno out of Santa Teresa High School in San Jose. The left-hander stands in. Whiting ready, first pitch. Off speed, outside for a ball. 1 ball and no strikes on Nuno. Give you the numbers on Whiting after this pitch. A ball and no strikes. Big swing and a miss, and that looked like off speed again from Whiting. Working carefully to Nuno. And Whiting, the freshman, making his 8th appearance, his 4th start. A record of 1-1, an ERA of 3.24 in 16 2/3. Again, breaking ball left side, foul territory. And I believe it's out of play. We are working remotely. Okay. I'm being told that it is out of play, ball and 2 strikes. Yeah, there's a limit to our camera range. We don't yet have the camera that just takes in the whole field. That'd be something. Yeah, and just an indicator for those watching our scoreboard. We are working on an issue. That ball lined hard to right, but playable for Gonzalez. So a hard hit ball from Nuno is a long out and 1 down. But those of you might have noticed that we don't have first base working in our scoreboard right now. So there is a runner on first. I will try to keep you apprised of the situation as we go along here today. But the Marauders do have a runner at first. Anybody who's worked with a computer for 5 seconds knows. Just hard to tell what you're going to get. Base hit to center. 2 on, 1 out for the Marauders. And that was Camacho coming up, first pitch swinging. Found one he liked, took it right back up the middle. 2 on, and Joseph will be the batter. Riv Camacho continues to swing a hot bat, and that'll bring up William Joseph with 2 on. Marauders looking to answer right back here in the bottom of the inning after they gave up a 3 spot in the top of the inning. No balls and a strike. Marauders come in having won 2 of their last 3. 10-11 on the season, 2-5 in conference play. Meanwhile, College of the Canyons, 10-12 overall. But they started the season on a disastrous streak, dropping their first 5 games. But they have rebounded nicely. They've gotten it back to 10-12 overall. Joseph goes the opposite way. This one's into the gap. Marauders going to get on the board here in the bottom of the first. 1 run will score. They wave Camacho around. He will score on a 2-run double by Joseph. Well, this ball was well hit. Going to take you back and show you the work of Joseph at the plate. That's a great piece of hitting. Didn't try to do too much with it. Took that one out over the plate into left center. Camacho's Jovan and Ryan couldn't close the gap, and it went all the way to the wall. That allowed both Johnson and Camacho to score easily. 3-2. We're going to see some runs here today. Popped up right side. Doyle Kane in foul territory, and he's got it. 1 pitch, 1 out. That's a big out for Whiting, with Joseph still at second. And the batter now will be Puentes. Lupe Puentes, the designated hitter today. So Puente is going to try and pick up Joseph and tie this one up. Whiting ready. Gets by Garcia. That's going to allow Joseph to move up. And now the tying run just 90 feet away. A ball and no strikes on Puentes. And there is a look at Lupe Puentes. Right-handed hitter out of Kerman. Outside for a ball, 2 balls, no strikes on Puentes. On deck, it's Duarte for the Marauders. Been able to go over a lot of the Cougar defense here in the first inning, but we'll set it up for you. Big swing and a miss. And so far, Whiting not afraid to go up in the zone, challenge these hitters. Hard to say he's been completely successful with a couple of runs on the board, but he has been able to blow it by a couple of Marauder hitters. Here in the bottom of the first, off speed that time, and it's fouled away 2-2 now on Puentes. Ryan Camacho in left, Jovan Camacho in center, Steven Gonzalez in right. Andy Ambrose at third, Mikey Kane at short, Alex Ballesteros at second, Doyle Kane at first, Alex Garcia behind the plate, and Brandon Whiting on the mound. Game 2 of this 3-game series between the Cougars and the Marauders here today. Again, tried the breaking ball outside, and it's a full count on Puentes. Hits for Johnson, Camacho, and Joseph here in the bottom of the first to put a couple on the board. Here's the payoff pitch. Got him. Went back to that slider, low and away, and Puentes chased it to retire the side. 2 on the board for the Marauders on 3 hits. We're through 1. College of the Canyons on top of AVC. 3-2 on SoCalCollegeSports.com. Right-hander Patrick Berry finishes up his warm-up tosses and gets ready to go to work. In the second inning, he allowed 3 runs on 3 hits in that first inning, but the Marauder offense able to get a couple back, and we head to the top of the second with a 3-2 score. Berry up on the rubber and ready to work. Alex Garcia, the right-hander, digs in. First pitch high for a ball. 1 ball and no strikes on Garcia. Some of the numbers on Patrick Berry making his 8th appearance of the year. His second start, a record of 1-1, the ERA 10.67. Bouncer on the left side, and Johnson goes across to retire Garcia for out number 1. 1 down. That'll bring up Ryan Camacho, the left fielder. Berry ready. Here's the first pitch. Breaking ball in for a strike. No balls and a strike on Camacho. Bouncing ball to short this time. Camacho gathers and goes to first. 2 down, base is empty. In the top of the second, Berry starting to settle down. It was Mikey and Doyle Kane going back-to-back with triples in the first that keyed the Cougar offense in that 3-run inning. Jovan Camacho, the batter, first pitch swinging. Slow roller to first. Scott will take it himself. Easy inning for Berry. 3 up, 3 down. We head to the bottom of the second. 3-2, College of the Canyons. It's Marauder Baseball on SoCalCollegeSports.com. Seven, 8, 9 due up for the Marauders in the bottom of the second. First pitch swung on. Base hit into left for Nathan Duarte. Duarte gets things started with a base hit, and that'll bring up Zach Terry, the second baseman. And there is Zach Terry. Standing in from the right side with Duarte on. First pitch again goes after it, pops it up, shallow right, could be trouble. Ballesteros giving chase. And it's going to drop in for a base hit, but they still have a play at second, and they get Duarte. So it ends up being an unusual fielder's choice. No chance for Duarte. He's got to let this one drop before he can make a move. He's off the bag. You can see it there in the replay. And this is just a good heady play by Gonzalez, who I think pulls up knowing that he can ultimately take this one on the bounce if he needs to, because he's got Duarte right in front of him. And he ends up throwing a strike to second, and it ends up 1 out and a runner still at first. Swing and a miss. There goes the runner, and the throw down not in time. So now it's a runner at second, 1 down, after Terry comes up with the stolen base. The batter is Colin Hagan. And there is Hagan, the center fielder, with a no ball and 1 strike count and a runner at second. With 1 down, the Marauders looking for the tie. See if Hagan can give it to him with a base hit here. Whiting taking some time, and now Hagan will ask for time. A little of that gamesmanship in battle. Batter versus pitcher. Swing and a miss for Hagan. Colin Hagan out of Highland High School in Palmdale. Behind in the count, no balls and 2 strikes. Terry with good speed at second. Good lead. Away from second, Whiting checks the runner, now comes home. Back to the slider, outside for a ball. 1 ball and 2 strikes. And so far, Whiting hasn't been throwing what looks like a slider to me for strikes, but he is nonetheless going to that pitch, trying to get these right-handed hitters to chase that ball out of the zone. He did it against Puentes to retire the side in the first. Hagan gets a piece to stay alive. A ball and 2 strikes on Colin Hagan. Outfield playing Hagan straight away. Maybe cheating a couple of steps to pull. With a ball and 2 strikes the count. Whiting with a long look. 1-2 pitch, back to the screen. Mentioned the slow start for the Cougars, who got off to an 0-5 start before turning it around. They have lost their last 2 after they finally scaled the mountain and got all the way back to 10-10 on the season. Now they're 10-12, but they're still in a 3-way tie for 3rd in the Western State South. Right now being led by Glendale. What else is new? They're 7-0 in conference play. Back to the screen again. And the Vaquero is always tough. Citrus, another team that has turned it around after a slow start. They're in second place at 5-2. Then you've got the group of 3 at 4-3. Good duel going on between Whiting and Hagan. Here's the 1-2. Another foul ball. Both teams went deep into the bullpen in the first matchup on Tuesday. It was an 11-7 win in 10 innings for the Marauders at Canyons. Marauders able to score a run in the 9th when they needed it, trailing 7-6 to force extra innings, and then they put 4 on the board in the 10th to wrap it up. Breaking ball outside, 2 balls, 2 strikes on Hagan. Yeah, the Cougars, no shortage of runners on base. Both teams with some opportunities. In fact, the Cougars, I'm told, even left the bases full on 2 occasions in that one. How big would 1 run have been? Soft liner, it's a base hit for Hagan. Terry rounding 3rd, and they'll hold him at 3rd. Good piece of hitting from Hagan. Two more hits in the bottom of the second. And now it's runners at the corners with 1 out. And the top of the order, Mason Johnson, who had a base hit his first time up, coming to the plate. And there is Johnson, the freshman. Came into action today. Batting .282. No home runs, 8 runs batted in. And a quick throw over. And there's a look at Hagan at first. With 1 down. Johnson looking to tie it up or do more with 2 on. Whiting in another jam. Trying the breaking ball outside again. 2 balls, no strikes. That's a good job by the Marauder hitters so far. Laying off that breaking ball off the plate and You wonder if there wasn't a little bit of scouting involved, as that is a pitch that Whiting has gone to repeatedly here over the first couple of innings. Swing and a miss. 2 balls and a strike. That's hard to tell. That ball has some break on it that Whiting just threw, but it also looks, from our angle, like good velocity. It doesn't quite have the slider break. That looks more like the slider to me. Popped up in the air, a sliding attempt. It's still a fair ball. And they go down and get Johnson at first. So it ends up being a sacrifice, not what the Marauders wanted. Watch this one high in the air. And it is, as you see Terry scoring there, I should correct myself, it is exactly what the Marauders wanted. As that one ends up finding the turf, Terry, breaking on contact, scores easily, and it ends up going down as a successful squeeze. And we're tied. So 2 down, runner at second. Brand new ball game, tied at 3. And the batter will be Josh Nuno, who hit it right on the screws. His first time up. But it was a line drive to right that Gonzalez was able to make the play on. Whiting ready. One hopper to second. Ballesteros there. He's got time. Goes to first to retire the side, but the Marauders able to tie it up. A run on 2 hits, no errors. And 1 left on base. We're through 2. All tied at 3. AVC and COC, you're watching Marauder Baseball on SoCalCollegeSports.com. Mikey Kane, Doyle Kane, and Taft and Hensley, heart of the order, due up in the top of the 3rd inning in a 3-all tie. Barry's first pitch, high and outside for a ball. 1 ball, no strikes on Mikey Kane out of La Cañada, California, St. Francis High School. Just off the outside corner, 2 balls and no strikes. Kane with a triple his first time up. Came into action batting .333. The triple was his 12th extra base hit on the season. He's got 4 home runs, 18 runs batted in. High fly ball. Left center. And moving over, it's Hagan, who will take it for the out. 1 down. 5 in a row set down by Barry. That'll bring up Doyle Kane. A triple his first time up. Doyle Kane came in batting .286, a home run, 17 runs batted in. Also out of La Cañada, St. Francis High School. Mike, I'm ready to make the call. I think, that Mikey and Doyle are brothers. Okay. Okay. Well, there's when they're same high school, same hometown, same last name. The coincidences start to pile up, and you just get a feeling. Is Len there? Shot back off the blocks and off of Barry. This is going to be an infield hit, and Barry will try to get himself up. He appears to be okay. Let's watch the replay. This is a hot shot back through the box, and Barry takes it, off that right leg, right at the knee. But popped up. It looks like he's okay. I'll give you one more angle of it here. Ouch. And down he goes. But up. And apparently okay. They'll take a look. Let's see if Barry's going to stay in the game. As you saw Johnson come in there, couldn't make the bare hand. It was going to be a tough play to get Doyle Kane in any event. Man on. So runner at first, one down. And as always is the case in this situation, they're going to let Patrick Barry have a few tosses. They're going to come out and check on him and see if he's okay. He's given the nod. I think the way he popped up, he did not want to come out of this game. Mike, I'm sure it occurred to you that as we look at Patrick Barry, he bears just a little resemblance to our good buddy and one of our producer directors, Emery Johnson. A little bit on the mound, he kind of reminds me. yes, Emery's a big man. It's true. So that'll bring up Hensley, and then Mike, as you correctly pointed out, when he came up in the first inning, very dangerous hitter and on a torrid streak as well is Tafton Hensley. He's out of Mooresville High School in Mooresville, North Carolina. And, with the numbers, not a big surprise. Batting .352, 7 home runs, 28 runs batted in. And as good as those numbers are, they've been on an uptick of late. We'll get to that in a little bit. Off-speed pitch, low for a ball. 2 balls and no strikes. And, again, talk about scouting. And I think Patrick Barry is aware of who Tafton Hensley is. He worked carefully to him in his first at-bat, and he shows him the off-speed pitch, keeping it down here in the second at-bat, even with a man at first. Now goes back upstairs. And Hensley a little late on it. Nice sequence from Patrick Barry. He worked it low, then came back up with the fastball. 2 balls and a strike on Hensley. He walked his first time up.
Stoy, you can hear me right now, right?
Yes, I hear you.
Okay. How about now? Can you hear me now?
Outfield straightaway and deep for Hensley. Back upstairs and missing for a ball.
Damn it.
Here's Patrick Barry, 3 balls and a strike. Now on Hensley with Steven Gonzalez waiting on deck. Barry ready. Working quickly. Tried the outside corner and missed. Back-to-back walks for Hensley. Runners now at first and second with 1 down. And Gonzalez will be the batter. He had a sacrifice fly his first time up.
Jeff, can you hear me?
Steven Gonzalez came in batting .299, 3 home runs, 14 runs batted in. Nathan Duarte going to come out for a quick conference with Patrick Barry with 2 on and 1 out. After Barry had set down 5 in a row, Kane singled and Hensley walked. Runners at first and second with Gonzalez coming up.
Stoy, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay. Well, there's that.
Steven Gonzalez out of Valencia High School in Santa Clarita. So he stayed
Pitching
close
change.
to home.
Len.
And we are going to have a pitching change. And it looks like, is that Mason Johnson moving over?
I got Len with us. He's home. He's calling it remote.
Sam Maudsley will be the new pitcher.
I didn't know. You do all their home games? No, we're contracted for 5. This is game 2 of 5. Cool. You guys got it going a little, huh?
Yes. Right-hander Sam Maudsley takes over for Patrick Berry, who goes 2 1/3 and leaves runners at first and second with Steven Gonzalez due up. And there you see Sam Maudsley out of South Anchorage. The right-hander, 6 feet, 250 pounds. Ready, first pitch, inside for a ball to Gonzalez. Gonzalez, a sacrifice fly, his first time up. Now comes up with 2 on. And there is Gonzalez, the 6'3" freshman out of Santa Clarita. Off speed again, low for a ball. 2 balls, no strikes. The count on Gonzalez. And Maudsley doesn't have the luxury to nibble here too much with 2 on. He's going to have to go after Gonzalez, who's ahead in the count, 2 balls and no strikes. Takes a look at the runner, now comes home, back to the breaking ball, gets the called strike, 2 balls and a strike. I think this pitch here, and I think this is a pretty fortunate call for Maudsley. But gets the benefit of the high strike. And now it's 2-1. That's a big pitch. You don't want to be working 3-0 already with 2 on. Gonzalez ropes this one toward third. This could be 2. Great job by Johnson stepping on the bag and going across to turn the double play. 5-3, and Maudsley's out of the inning. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, 1 left on base. We're heading to the bottom of the third, all tied at 3. Canyons and AVC. It's Marauder Baseball on SoCalCollegeSports.com. Now it's the Marauders that will send the heart of the order up in their half of the third, starting with Jariv Camacho, who had a base hit his first time up. 1-0 is Whiting back on the bump and working. Ground ball to third. Ambrose across to first to retire Camacho for out number 1. And it looked like, was it Camacho? Yeah, coming over the bag and tripped over the bag on that left side. And we're going to give it, well, I thought, okay, we're not going to take one more look at it. But, yeah, it looked like just a stumble over the bag for Camacho. And we'll see how he is able to recover. Meanwhile, a swing and a miss at the first offering from William Joseph. Had a 2-run double his first time up. Whiting, who was staked to the 3-0 lead. Ground ball on the right side. Kane underhands to Whiting, covering to retire Joseph for out number 2. This is a good job by Doyle Kane, who initially had some trouble. Watch him stay with it. Doesn't panic. Knows he's got a little time with Joseph coming down the line. And the Cougars execute 2 down. Base is empty, and here's Nate Scott, popped out his first time up. Whiting working quickly, the slider on the outside corner. No balls and a strike on Scott. Nate Scott out of Chaparral High School in Temecula. Big swing and a foul ball. Scott now in a hole, no balls and 2 strikes. Mentioned Scott 0 for 1 today. Came in, batting .294, 6 home runs, 28 runs batted in. So this is the guy that can give the Marauders the lead here with 1 swing. A ball and 2 strikes. Whiting continues to work away from Scott. 1-2 pitch. Breaking ball high. 2-2. Whiting ready to go. Fouled away by Scott. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Base is empty, 2 down. We're in the bottom of the 3rd. The Marauders and the Cougars tied at 3. Again, tried the curveball and missed high. Scott, who was down in the count, no balls and 2 strikes, has come all the way back to work it to a full count. Whiting moments ago, no doubt thinking he was 1 pitch away from heading back to the dugout with a 1-2-3 inning. Still working on Scott. Lifted deep to left. But the park will hold it, battling the sun. Camacho moving over and has it to retire the side. So Scott just missed it. Flies to center to retire the side. 3 up, 3 down for Whiting. We head to the 4th, tied at 3. Marauder Baseball, SoCalCollegeSports.com. Sam Maudsley set to work. It'll be Ambrose, Ballesteros, and Garcia, 6, 7, 8, due up for the Cougars in the top of the fourth. In a 3-all tie, Maudsley did a great job coming on with 2 on and inducing the double play ball to get the Marauders out of the inning in the top of the third. No balls and a strike on Ambrose, who had a base hit his last time up. Maudsley making his first appearance since March 15th. But overall, he's been busy for the Marauders, making his 10th appearance, his 8th in relief, a record of 2-1. Back to the screen, but that one got a piece. Yeah, got a piece of Ambrose, so the leadoff man aboard. As the breaking ball gets away and puts a runner at first, and it brings up Ballesteros just to finish the numbers on Maudsley. A record of 2-1, an ERA of 5.12, and 19 1/3 innings of work. Also has 2 saves for the Marauders, 2 of the 3 saves for the team on the season. So with a couple of starts, a couple of saves, now on for a stretch and long relief, base hit to left. Maudsley's done it all for the Marauders here in 2022. The base hit for Ballesteros puts runners at first and second, nobody out, and the Cougars have something going here in the top of the fourth. Garcia will be the batter. He grounded to third his last time up. So Maudsley is going to need to find another ground ball here for the Marauders with 2 on and nobody out. Alex Garcia in his freshman year out of Alemany High School in Mission Hills. Squares to bunt. Out in front of the plate, Maudsley's only play is to first. Good job by Garcia. Advances the runners. 1 down. And Camacho will be the batter. Ryan Camacho grounded to short his first time up. The Marauder infield in at the corners. Johnson and Scott even with the bag. But Camacho and Terry are back up the middle. So ground ball to the middle. And the Cougars will go back out in front, one would believe. First pitch swinging. Fly ball down the right field line. Long run. And it drops in for a base hit. This will score a 1 run. Meanwhile, Camacho digging hard out of the box ends up at second. And Mike, I can't see third. Did 1 run score or 2? So it remains second and third as Camacho places this one perfectly. And again, this is a heady play by Camacho. Coming out of the box. And he's running hard. He's thinking 2 all the way. And he ends up at second. So that keeps the Cougars out of a potential double play with runners at second and third, still only 1 out. So that's a big extra base for the Cougars, who now lead at 4-3. First pitch from Maudsley, low and inside for a ball. Well, the Marauders, after trailing at 3-0, chipped away, got all the way back to 3-3. But now it's the Cougars who nose back out in front with a run here in the fourth, and they're threatening for more with Javon Camacho at the plate, 0 for 2. 1-0. Pop foul, left side, playable, and Duarte has it for the out. That is a huge out for the Marauders, as Duarte has room to retire Camacho for out number 2. The runners stay at second and third. And now it'll be Mikey Kane, who's 1 for 2, a triple, and a fly out in 2 trips. Boy, if Maudsley can get out of this inning allowing just 1 run, the Marauders will take that in a second. Well, this is getting to be the ethos of this series. On Tuesday, it was each team taking turns, putting runs on the board back and forth in what ultimately turned out to be an 11-7 win for the Marauders, but both teams certainly had their chances. And in fact, Canyons carried a lead into the 9th in that one, and this one's shaping up to be a similar dynamic. Cougars grabbed the early lead. The Marauders came back, tied it up. Now the Cougars back out in front. And we're only in the fourth. 1-0 pitch. Kane takes the breaking ball on the outside corner, a ball and a strike. See, Duarte able to frame that one up. Get the call. A ball and a strike on Mikey Kane. Low and outside. Kane on the season. Came in batting .333. Talked about the extra base power of Mikey Kane with 12 extra base hits on the season. And he gets one to the outfield here. And he could put a couple more on the board for the Cougars. 2-1. Maudsley kicks and delivers, pulled the string. Had Kane way out in front, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Well, I think at this point, from what you've seen from Sam Maudsley, I think you have to be sitting breaking ball here. If you're Mikey Kane, it's been a pretty steady diet of breaking stuff from Maudsley. 2-2. Tried it again, back to the screen. This is going to bring home another run. The wild pitch from Maudsley makes it a 5-3 lead for the Cougars. That's a killer. You're only 1 out away from potentially getting out of the inning. But now the Cougars able to push another one across no matter what happens with Mikey Kane. And we'll see if Kane can pick up the runner at third and push the lead back to 3 runs. 3-2 on Kane. Maudsley winds and delivers. Kane just got a piece. Well, that was Maudsley's pitch. That was breaking ball located well, down low, and Kane able to just fight it off. And that is something that is such a staple of good hitters. When they can fight off that pitcher's pitch and get themselves another look. Let's see if Kane can take advantage of it. Maudsley trying to close the door here in the fourth. Fouled off again. Doyle Kane with a couple of hits already today waiting on deck. And in the hole, it's Taft and Hensley, so Sam Maudsley does not want this inning to continue for any number of reasons. Reaches out, pops it up, shallow center, long run. It's going to drop for a base hit. The Cougars are back out in front by 3 at 6-3 on the bloop single by Mikey Kane. You know, a couple times in this one, a good 2 or 3 times that you can remember as you see the effort from Colin Hagan laying out but can't quite get there. The Cougars have placed it about as well as you can hope to place it off the bat. And that's another one there. It's a good job by Kane, who was fooled on that pitch, to just reach out and get a piece and give himself a chance. But sometimes in this game, you just drop it in a perfect spot. This one lined into right center. Hagan able to cut it off, but Mikey Kane rounding second. He'll head to third. Runners at second and third. The Cougars still going here in the fourth. And the inning continues. Doyle Kane with that. Now 3 for 3. A single, double, and a triple. Tell you what, Mikey goes downtown. You know what that means. Just one round tripper away from the cycle. But we'll have to wait on that. Right now, Sam Maudsley will face Taft and Hensley. And with runners at second and third, if you're looking for good news, if you're the Marauders, you've got first base where you can put Hensley. You certainly don't have to go right after the very dangerous Taft and Hensley with first base open. Maudsley ready. In for a strike. No balls and a strike on Hensley. He's walked twice. And I think it's going to be nonstop breaking stuff. And see if Maudsley starts working out of the zone against Hensley. He's ahead, no balls, and a strike. See if they can get Hensley to chase something. And indeed, you saw Duarte setting up outside. I'm not sure that Maudsley really hit his spot there. Ended up being high and out up over the plate, but Hensley swang through it anyway. And now it's no balls and 2 strikes. Seven home runs for Hensley on the season. 0-2 pitch. Swung on and missed. Great job by Maudsley. Fans Hensley, but the Cougars with a big 4th inning. 3 runs on 4 hits. No errors, 2 men left on base. Cougars back out in front as we head to the bottom of the 4th. You're watching AVC Baseball on SoCalCollegeSports.com. Bottom of the 4th. Marauders looking up and a deficit once again, trailing at 6-3. As they go to work against right-hander Brandon Whiting, who misses way high and outside for a ball. 1 ball and no strikes on Lupe Puentes. Struck out his first time up. He's now 1 for 6 in the series after going 1 for 5 Tuesday. Whiting again tries the breaking ball outside for a ball, 2 balls, no strikes on Puentes. Same 2 teams on Saturday for Game 3 of this 3-game set. Good cut from Puentes, but he fouled it back to the screen. 2 balls and a strike. Puentes came in batting .268. A home run, 8 runs batted in on the season. Whiting ready. Good fastball. 2 balls and 2 strikes. That's a rare fastball for many of the pitchers today. That's a great job by Whiting to mix it in. And located it well as well, right at the knees. 2-2 on Puentes. Hard hit. Ground ball to short from the hole. Kane with the long throw. And he gets Puentes. And I think the Cougars get a little help from that infield grass. Let's watch this again. Maybe off the end of the bat, but slows down just enough, and Kane shows good range going into the hole and a strong arm to get Puentes. 1 down. That'll bring up Duarte. A base hit his first time up. And you see Duarte out of Palmdale High School in Palmdale. No balls and a strike. Whiting, meanwhile, has set down 6 in a row. Outside for a ball and a strike. Whiting looking for his 2nd win of the season as he works in the bottom of the 4th. He's got the lead. See how long Coach Coda stays with him. Fly ball, left field. Ranging over, it's Camacho. He's got it for out number 2. Is that right? Ryan Camacho, a member of the Cougar football team. That's no easy football team to make. Cougars rapidly becoming a traditional power in the 3C2A in football over the last several years. Outside for a ball. SCFA, thank you. One and 0 outside a ball. 2-0 on Zach Terry, trying to keep it alive in the bottom of the fourth, with the Cougars leading at 6-3. Looks like a different kind of day for baseball here at Lancaster. We've been out here a couple of times, and it's been that cold desert weather that you get. But today it looks much warmer, much more comfortable. Perhaps Mike can let me know how it feels out there. 3 balls and a strike. Well, that's what you get out in Lancaster. It's going to be awfully warm or awfully cold. A walk for Terry. Yeah, I think some might say in Lancaster there, it's either way it's going to be awful. But it can be fairly extreme. And today on the warmer side with a runner on, a 2-out walk to Terry, and that'll bring up Hagan. Hagan a base hit his first time up in a fantastic duel with Whiting that Hagan eventually won with a base hit. His first time up. 1 ball, no strikes. Marauders looking for a 2-out rally, and here comes Garcia. And he wants a quick chat with Brandon Whiting. Trying to close it out here in the fourth, and now it's going to turn into a full-on conference. So Chris Cota out, talking with his pitcher. And we saw Brian Moses come out and have a quick say, and now we're ready to go. And there is Hagan with Terry at first and 2 down in the bottom of the fourth. Not exactly sure what the delay is here. So I'm being told that Coach Brian Moses is still making his point. When the umpire behind the plate, and we're ready to go. Whiting misses low, 2 balls and no strikes. And again, Whiting working slowly with runners on base. He is comfortable staying in that stretch for a while. And he pumps a strike in, 2 balls and a strike. Not in any big hurry is Brandon Whiting, ready to go. Here's the 2-1 pitch, back to the fastball, and a swing and a miss. And I think as Hagan swings through that, and that looks to me like it could be a cutter. As well, moving down and a little bit away from Hagan. Good movement on that pitch. Goes back upstairs and is fouled up and out of play by Hagan. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Hagan 0 for 1 in the first matchup on Tuesday, but back in the lineup here today. Two pitch. Low for a ball. 3-2 on Hagan. Top of the order, Mason Johnson on deck if Hagan can keep it going here in the bottom of the fourth. Fouled up and out of play. That is a pitch that Hagan would probably like to have back. That was out over the plate, a little bit up in the zone. And he just missed it. Fouled it straight back and out of play. Payoff pitch. Took something off, and he fans Hagen to retire the side. No runs, no hits, no errors. One left on base. We're heading to the fifth. Cougars on top of the Marauders 6-3. It's Antelope Valley College baseball here on SoCalCollegeSports.com. Steven Gonzalez will lead things off, to be followed by Andy Ambrose and Alex Ballesteros. Sam Maudsley back on the mound for the Marauders after taking over for starter Patrick Berry. First pitch misses outside for a ball. 1 ball and no strikes. And I believe it's Andy Ambrose then at the plate. Let's see what the... It is Ambrose. Okay. So 2 balls and no strikes. It's Ambrose leading things off. I lost a player somewhere last inning. Oh, yes, of course. It was Gonzalez. No, I had Hensley leading it off. Or Hensley ended last inning with the strikeout. Yeah. Well, Brian Moses was making a point, and then Hensley ended last inning striking out, and Gonzalez is next up in the order. But it is Ambrose at the plate. Popped up. Right side. Moving back, and it's Terry that makes the catch. Joseph closing in, but Terry takes it. So Ambrose retired to start the second, and Ballesteros is due up, and it is. Ballesteros heading to the plate. Well, perhaps Mike, who's there, can get clarification on that. That is an interesting case here for what exactly happened to Steven Gonzalez. Not coming to the plate, but rather Ambrose leading things off. Back to the screen, a ball and no strikes. I'd be interested to know that one. 1-1 on Ballesteros. 1 for 2 in the game. A base hit his last time up. Maudsley ready. Breaking ball. Through on the left side for a base hit. Ballesteros now with a couple of hits. 1 on, 1 out. And Alex Garcia due up next. 0 for 1, grounded out. Also had a successful sacrifice. And we'll have a pitching change from Lancaster. Come back and tell you about the new pitcher. It's Marauder Baseball here on SoCalCollegeSports.com. Right-hander Chase Hadley, the third pitcher of the game for the Marauders, takes over for Sam Maudsley, and he'll work to Alex Garcia with a runner at first and 1 down. High and inside for ball 1 to Garcia. Hadley, a 6-foot right-hander out of Moapa Valley High School in Overton, Nevada. And there's a look at Alex Garcia. Fastball in for a strike, a ball and a strike on Garcia, 0 for 1 today. Garcia came in 364 on the season, 4 for 11 at the plate, no home runs, 1 run batted in. So Garcia getting what has been a rare start so far here in 2022. Here today. One and one. Hadley from the belt. Runner going. Fouled out of play. A ball and 2 strikes. The count on Garcia with Ryan Camacho in the on-deck circle for the Cougars, who lead it 6-3 as they bat here in the top of the 5th. One-two from Hadley. High fly ball, right center field. It's Joseph that will take it for the out. 2 down. And that'll bring up Camacho. Camacho's 1 for 2. A double his last time up. Camacho came in batting 286, snap throw down to first. And the runner back. 1-0 on Camacho. Camacho with a home run, 11 runs batted in on the season. Hadley will check the runner. And Mike, similar to our conversation earlier, Ryan Camacho, Jovan Camacho, got to believe they're brothers. Both out of Stevenson Ranch, California, West Ranch High School. High for a ball. 2 balls, no strikes. Is that right, Mike, mentioning that both Camacho brothers played on the football team? Outside for a ball. Of course, you got to see a little more of them than I did this year. Although often we were working in other venues at the time. That the Marauders certainly being one. 3-0 on Camacho. Hadley ready. And he missed that one well out of the zone. Keep an eye on the runner. Well, I had it at 3-0. Mike, is it 3-0 now? Okay. So it'll go down as a wild pitch to Camacho, and the count now 3 balls and a strike. As we'll bring you up to date with a runner now at second and 2 down. So now a base hit to the outfield, and the Cougars can pick up some insurance. And the Cougars grabbed an early lead in the game on Tuesday. It was a 4-0 lead at the end of 1 in that game before the Marauders came back, eventually taking a 6-4 lead in a back-and-forth game that the Marauders eventually won in 10 innings. Outside for a ball. First and second, which is all just a way of making the point that every insurance run that you can pick up here today in a matchup of these two teams can easily be the difference. So Camacho's walk sets the table for Jovan Camacho, who's 0 for 3 today. And the left-hander Camacho takes the fastball high and outside for a ball. 1 ball and no strikes. And Jovan Camacho came in batting 296, no home runs, 7 runs batted in. Hadley with a long look. Here's the 1-0. Outside for a ball. 2 balls and no strikes on Jovan Camacho. Camacho 1 for 4 with a couple of walks in the loss on Tuesday. 2-0 pitch from Hadley, high again. So now Camacho way out in front, and if Camacho can get on, it's the Kane brothers and Taft and Hensley. You're heading into the heart of the order. This can turn into a big inning in a hurry. See if Camacho is taking all the way with a 3-0 count. Fastball in for a strike. And activity in the Marauder bullpen. Yeah, it's Marshall Saul, the left-hander, getting loose. 3-1 on Camacho. Tried the breaking ball again and missed. Now they're loaded. Still 2 out. If you're Hadley, 1 pitch and you can get yourself out of the inning. But it'll come to Mikey Kane, who's 2 for 3. A single and a triple for Mikey Kane in the game. And a chance here to give the Cougars a commanding lead. If he can plate a couple of runs with a base hit here. Hadley has the sign. Here's the pitch. Cutter outside for a ball. 1 ball and no strikes. Hadley, I'm looking up my notes here, but I believe Hadley, part of the bullpen performance on Tuesday that was very solid. After Julian Blackwell struggled in the first inning, it was the Marauder bullpen that really picked him up, especially through the middle innings as the Marauders came back to take a lead before it eventually went to extra innings. But the bullpen was outstanding. 2 balls and no strikes. And if memory serves, Hadley was part of that. Two balls, no strikes on Mikey Kane. Gets the call. 2 balls and a strike. Boy, that is terrific location. And some good work from Duarte to frame that pitch up and get that call. Suffice to say, that is one that could have gone either way. Let's just say that. 2-1 on Kane. High for a ball, 3 balls and a strike. Now, I stand corrected. It was Wilson and Toledo. Brandon Wilson and Matt Toledo went 5 innings scoreless to help the Marauders get back into it on Tuesday, along with Ethan Wendell, who closed it out for the win. So this is Hadley's first appearance of the series. 3 balls and a strike on Kane. Good fastball. Full count on Mikey Kane. Big pitch coming up. Bases loaded. 2 down. Marauders trying to keep the Cougars within range. They're already down 3. They need to get out of this inning. 3-2. High for ball 4. Hadley walks Kane. And the Cougars now lead at 7-3. And it doesn't get a whole lot easier because here comes Doyle Kane, who is 3 for 3. A single, a double, and a triple. Duarte going to come out and talk things over with Chase Hadley. Make sure they're on the same page for Doyle Kane. Here comes Coach Brian Moses, and are we going to see Marshall Saul? All indications are yes. Here in the top of the 5th, the Cougars have pushed the lead to 7-3, and they still have them loaded. That'll be it for Chase Hadley. We'll come back, tell you about the new pitcher for the Marauders in the top of the 5th. Cougars on top, 7-3. Marauder Athletics annual golf tournament tentatively scheduled for June 3rd of this year. And we got to take part in it last year, and that was a good time. I don't know who that guy was who made that last putt, but yeah, it's a pretty decent putting stroke. I think we managed to capture the one thing that went well for me on that day. It's a good thing that there's video evidence to last forever. New pitcher Marshall Saul, left-hander on, with the bases loaded. First pitch to Doyle Kane, in for a strike. No balls and a strike on Kane, who, as we mentioned, has had a big day at the plate with 3 hits already and a chance here to really break things open in the top of the 5th. Cougars trying to even up this 3-game series at a game apiece. Saul ready, the 0-1 pitch. Curveball just outside for a ball. Well, we've seen the Marauders get a couple of calls that might have been fortunate, and that looked like the other side of the coin. That looked like a pretty good pitch from Saul, but doesn't get the call. And instead, it's 1-1 on the very dangerous Doyle Kane. And speaking of dangerous, you got Taft and Hensley waiting on deck. Sinking fastball low, 2 balls and a strike. And there is a good look at the left-hander, Marshall Saul, making his 6th appearance of the season. No record in ERA of 4.91 in 7 1/3 innings. Back upstairs, fly ball, center field, moving over. It's Joseph that will take it in the alley to retire the side. Saul gets Kane to retire the side, but the Cougars push another run across. Heading to the bottom of the 5th, College of the Canyons pushes the lead to 7-3 over Antelope Valley. It's Marauder Baseball on SoCalCollegeSports.com. Right-hander Scott Bauman takes over for Brandon Whiting and carries a 7-3 lead into the 5th inning, where he will face the top of the order, Mason Johnson, Josh Nuno, Reeve Camacho for the Marauders, who find themselves down 4 at 7-3. Johnson perfect on the day. A base hit and a successful squeeze and 2 trips. First pitch swinging. It's a fair ball. Getting by Ambrose. Johnson will hold at first with a leadoff single. So Johnson greets Bauman with a base hit. And we get things going in the bottom of the 5th. For Bauman, it's his 9th appearance on the season, his 6th in relief. His record 0-3, the ERA 9.75 in 24 innings of work. That'll bring up Nuno, who's hit the ball hard twice, flying to right and grounded to second. Fastball outside for a ball. Nuno came into action today batting .430, no home runs, 21 runs batted in. Johnson at first, the 1-0 from Bauman. Nuno able to hold up, 2 balls, no strikes. Nuno, 5 for 5 on Tuesday with 3 runs batted in. Comes in with a 5-game hit streak, outside for a ball. 3 balls and no strikes. How well has Josh Nuno been swinging the bat of late? Multi-hit games in 10 of his last 14 games. That's not just hitting in 10 of your last 14. We're talking more than 1 hit. Capped off with 5 on Tuesday. On the outside corner, 3 balls and a strike. Good location from Bauman. Let's see if Nuno is swinging away with a 3-1 count. Bauman ready. Base hit to right. Nuno turns on the fastball from Bauman. 2 on, nobody out. Marauders getting something going against new pitcher Scott Bauman here in the 5th. That'll bring up Ariv Camacho. 1 for 2, a base hit back in the 1st. And of course, recall Camacho had that strange mishap at first base his last time up in the 3rd. Stayed in the game, but you wonder as he tripped on his way over the bag if that will have any kind of impact as he goes forward here today. First pitch in for a strike, no balls and a strike. Camacho came in today batting .367, 4 home runs, 28 runs batted in. Out of John W. North High School in Riverside. Oh, 1 pitch. Slider outside, 1 ball, 1 strike on Camacho. Brandon Whiting went 4 innings. Allowed 3 runs, but had really settled down nicely. Retiring 8 of the last 9 batters he faced, and the only batter who reached was on a walk before giving way to Bauman. Fastball in on the hands, and Camacho fouls it off. He's down in the count, a ball and 2 strikes. Two on, nobody out. William Joseph on deck for Antelope Valley. Bauman from the belt. Kicks and delivers. That's into left for another base hit. Johnson going to hold at 3rd. 3 singles in a row to start the 5th. The bases are loaded, still nobody out. And that'll bring up William Joseph. And you got Joseph and Scott due up next. Joseph, a couple of home runs, 30 runs batted in, and then Nate Scott on deck with a team leading 6 home runs. So the Marauders with a chance to get themselves back into this one in a hurry. As they've loaded them up, still nobody out. And here is William Joseph, 1 for 2. A double his first time up. He had a big cut at the first offering from Scott and fouled it away. No balls and a strike. William Joseph was thinking about 7 all. And there is Joseph out of Las Vegas. 0-1 pitch from Bauman. That's a good job by Garcia to keep it in front. A ball and a strike. Bauman has the sign. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Tried the fastball again, way outside. 2 balls and a strike. On Joseph. Canyons used 5 pitchers in the loss on Tuesday. Bauman not among them, so his first appearance in the series comes today. And it's gotten off to a shaky start with 3 base hits as he works to Joseph, a 2-1 count. Inside corner, called strike 2. There's a lot of movement on this pitch. Now looked like a hard slider, perhaps a cutter, but either way, plenty of movement and able to paint the inside corner and even it up at 2-2 on Joseph. Back to it. And Joseph swings and misses down on strikes. That's huge for College of the Canyons. Bauman goes right back to it. A good hard slider. And Joseph went down after it, but couldn't get it. And that'll bring up Nate Scott. Scott's 0 for 2, popped out and flied out. Bauman with a long look. Here's the pitch. Low for a ball. And I know it's tempting to think about the big inning if you're the Marauders, but you've still got time in the bottom of the 5th. This is a big at-bat for Scott. You got to get a run or 2 across here and at least start to chip away and get yourself back into the game. 1-0. Cold strike 1. Mentioned the power of Scott with the 6 home runs. He was 1 for 3 with a walk in the victory on Tuesday. Carried an 8-game hitting streak into the game today. Low and inside, 2 balls and a strike. Bauman with the delivery. Inside corner, called strike 2. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Scott Bauman in 24 innings. 34 hits allowed, 10 walks, 15 strikeouts. So he's about 6 strikeouts per 9 innings. Looking for one here, and Scott gets a piece. 2-2. Lupe Puentes on deck for Antelope Valley. Bauman again taking his time. 2-2 pitch. Inside. 3-2 on Scott. Bauman ready. Here's the 3-2. Did he get a piece? Yeah, he did. And Alex Garcia took a shot there, too. Let's see if maybe he got the... was that the... Oh, yeah. That bounced in and... Yeah, foul tip, and you suspect, and no question, that's where the padding isn't for Garcia. And how tough do you have to be a catcher? And Garcia still slumped over. And that's one you can feel right through the screen. That's just, ouch. Just gets the tiniest piece of it, does Nate Scott. And that redirects just enough to get under the glove. And they'll take a look at Garcia. And going to see if he can manage to shake this off. With the count still 3-2 on Scott. And on goes the mask. And Garcia is going to tough it out and stay in there. Was there ever any doubt? He'll try to walk that off. And for Bauman and Scott, a little bit of a delay, and especially, you imagine, for Scott Bauman. He's got to stand there for a couple of minutes and get right back to it with as big a pitch as there has been in this game coming up. Payoff pitch to Scott with the bases loaded. 3-2. Scott turns on it, lifts it, deep center field, back to the track, it's gone! Grand slam home run for Nate Scott. We're all tied. You know, Nate Scott got off to a torrid start this season with 5 home runs in his first 9 games. But he'd only hit 1 home run in his last 12. Coming into action today. But forget all that, because that was a massive home run, number 7 on the year. And it just shows that no matter how it's going, great power is always a problem when you are an opponent. And you never know. And Nate Scott, in the biggest of moments, comes up huge for the Marauders. Brand new game. Tied at 7 as Scott goes yard with the bases juiced and ties it up at 7. Puentes fouls it off. He's down on the count, no balls and 2 strikes. Well, Bauman didn't want to walk him. Take a look at that Marauder dugout, and I have the decided feeling that it was even a little more rambunctious a few seconds ago. That was a big moment, and Bauman went right after him, not wanting to walk him, and give Scott a lot of credit. He was ready, got a ball out over the plate, and took it out to the deepest part of the park, straightaway center. That's power. All tied at 7 here in the 5th. Puentes out in front, fouls it off, still 0-2. Well, now Scott's hitting 9 in a row. Puentes 0 for 2. Ground out and a strikeout. Bauman ready. Back to the slider. Low and away, a ball and 2 strikes. Well, there have been some struggles on the mound for the Marauders this season, but there's been no question right from the start they could hit the ball. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Team batting average coming in at 300. With that home run, they now hit 17 home runs as a team on the season. And they are all even at 7 as they bat in the bottom of the 5th. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Puentes was down in the count, no balls and 2 strikes. He's come all the way back to fill it up. Here's the payoff from Baumann. Good fastball. Well, I had it at 3-1, 3-2. I should say that is called strike 3. Yep. So Baumann gets the strikeout on Puentes. 2 down, and that'll bring up Duarte. Duarte's 1 for 2. A single and a fly out and 2 trips. Baumann misses outside with the slider, 1-0 on Duarte. Duarte came in batting .282. Home run, 9 runs batted in. Laced into left field for a base hit for Duarte. 5th hit in the inning for Antelope Valley. And Zach Terry will be the 8th man to bat here in the bottom of the 5th, as the Marauders have put 4 on the board to tie things up. So here's Zach Terry. He walked and was retired on a fielder's choice in 2 trips. Boy, Garcia really struggling. I think he took another one there on that ball that bounced in. 1 ball and no strikes. You know, the entire Cougars team would love to get back to the dugout, finish off this 5th, but nobody more than Garcia. Line drive down the left field line. It's going to one-hop the wall. The Marauders looking for the lead, but Duarte going to hold up at 3rd on the double by Terry. And the Marauders continue to have their way here with Scott Baumann, who has come on here in the 5th and struggled against this Marauder lineup. AVC is now batted around, with Colin Hagan coming to the plate and a base hit here. Any old kind of a hit for Hagan will give the Marauders the lead, and it would be their first lead of the day. And there is Colin Hagan. First pitch from Baumann, outside for a ball. Hagan's 1 for 2, not in the lineup on Tuesday. Returns to the starting lineup here in Game 2 of the 3-game series. Into left field for another base hit. 1 run will score. They're going to hold Terry at 3rd. Hagan delivers the base hit. Antelope Valley has the lead at 8-7. Seven hits in the inning and 5 runs. And that'll be it for Scott Baumann. We'll have a pitching change for the Cougars. We're in the bottom of the 5th. Antelope Valley on top 8-7. You're watching Marauder Baseball on SoCalCollegeSports.com. Left-hander Josh Yosvan takes over for the Cougars, who for the first time today find themselves looking up on the scoreboard. They're trailing at 8-7. So the Marauders have brought home 5 runs here in the bottom of the 5th to take the 8-7 lead. Back to the top of the order, and Mason Johnson with 2 on and 2 out for Antelope Valley. Johnson's 2 for 2, couple of base hits, and a successful squeeze. First pitch lined into center field. And it is caught. Okay, so that retires the side. We're through 5. The Marauders with a big 5th, take an 8-7 lead. You're watching Marauder Baseball, SoCalCollegeSports.com. So did he fly out to center? Or? All right. Left-hander Marshall Saul back on the mound to start the 6th inning, where he'll work to Hensley, Gonzalez, and Ambrose, with Antelope Valley out in front 8-7. Saul ready. Here's the first pitch to Hensley. Slow curve in for a strike. Hensley's 0 for 1, walked twice and struck out. Saul into the wide, back to the fastball this time. Quickly, no balls and 2 strikes. Hensley now with 16 walks. That leads the team. 20 strikeouts, but that's just 4th on the team. So for a guy with tremendous power, Hensley is a guy who can also get some contact. Came in batting .352 on the season. Curveball. Nice job fielding the position from Marshall Saul as he comes up with that one and goes to first to retire Hensley. So Saul helps himself on the ball that could have been trouble. Back through the box. 1 down. And that'll bring up Steven Gonzalez, and this time we are going to see Steven Gonzalez. Now, as I say, I'm not sure where we lost him. And even according to the stats, he's 0 for 2. So one ball, no strikes. I wonder if it was something where Gonzalez was determined to be out by rule, because I do not remember him being at the plate. 1 ball, no strikes. As there is a look at Steven Gonzalez. Quickly, or I should say, evens it up at 1-1. Let's see the sinking action on that fastball. Saul in position to potentially be the winner on the mound here today for AVC if the Marauders can make this lead stand up, but that's a long way off as the Cougars bat here in the top of the 6th in a 1-run game. Gonzalez with a sacrifice fly, his first time up, grounded into a double play. His next time up, high for a ball, 3 balls and a strike on Gonzalez. Gonzalez came in batting .299, 3 home runs, 14 runs batted in. Gonzalez was 1 for 6 with a couple of runs batted in on Tuesday. Draws a walk. 1 on, 1 out. And Andy Ambrose will be the batter. He's 1 for 2, also hit by a pitch. Curveball in for a strike. No balls and a strike on Ambrose. And well, there's no question Saul able to get good movement on his pitches. And he's thrown the curveball a couple of times here in the 6th and located it well. 0-1 on Ambrose. Back to the curveball. In again for a strike. 2 balls and 2 strikes. I'd say the way he's got that curveball dialed in. If you're a Marauder fan, I'd like to see that again. Let's see a Cougar player square it up one time. Here's the 0-2. Fastball. Bouncer to third. Johnson will go to second. The throw's a little low, and it gets away from Terry. You lose the force out. You lose any chance at a double play. Johnson does a nice job of coming up with this one cleanly, but then just misses on the throw. He's got time. They're going to get Gonzalez, no problem, at second. And instead, it's 2 on, still only 1 out. And if you're Marshall Saul, you have to shake that off and get back to work with Alex Ballesteros. Stepping in, he's 2 for 3. Couple of singles. Inside, just slips away from Duarte. But the runner is not going to make a move. 1-0 on Ballesteros, who came in batting .301, a home run, 12 runs batted in. With the 2 hits today, Ballesteros is now 5 for 9 in the series. And he's got 2 on here with only 1 out. Another strike on the curveball. 1-1. And so far, I don't believe I've seen a Cougar player even offer at the curveball. He's been able to freeze them every time. 1-1 on Ballesteros. Curveball. Fly ball. Left field. Playable for Nuno. Makes the catch. The runners will hold as he gets it back in. 2 on, 2 out now. And the batter will be Alex Garcia, who's 0 for 2. Grounded out, flied out, and had a successful sacrifice. And we're going to see a pinch hitter, I believe. Mike, is that number 5, Brandon Rainier? Rainier, 3 for 9 at the plate on the season, will come in and batting for Alex Garcia. So chance here for Rainier. Excuse me, it's Rainer. Alex Rainer. Brandon Rainer at the plate. One ball, no strikes on Brandon Rainer, batting for Alex Garcia. Saul from the stretch. Outside, ball 2. Ryan Camacho in the on-deck circle for the Cougars, who trail at 8-7 as they bat here in the top of the 6th. Inside for a ball. 3-0 on Rainer. First at bat in the series for Rainer. We'll see if he's taking all the way. Of course, a walk here puts the potential go-ahead run into scoring position. So something to be said for a walk if you can get one, and that's what Rainer's got. Walked him on 4 pitches. And that'll bring up Ryan Camacho. And Rainer listed as a catcher, so you would expect that Rainer will then stay in for Alex Garcia. Ryan Camacho, 1 for 2. Doubled in the 4th. Excuse me, in the 4th. Walked his last time up. That was back in the 5th. Called strike 1. As Saul stays pretty much perfect with the curveball. Bases loaded with 2 down in the top of the 6th. 0-1 pitch. Swung through it. No balls and 2 strikes. Now on Camacho. Mike, let's see the curve. Oh, and 2 on Camacho. Nope, tried the fastball. 1 ball, 2 strikes on Ryan Camacho. Camacho had been struggling at the plate over his last 3 games, 2 for 14. But came up with a double in the 4th. He's been on base a couple of times today. Tried the breaking ball that time and missed. 2 balls, 2 strikes, and it's a good job by Camacho so far, laying off a couple of pitches out of the zone. And Camacho is a decidedly free swinger. Aggressive at the plate, but also comes in with a team-leading 28 strikeouts in 91 at-bats. So he's going to come up there and get his hacks in. 2-2. Missed with the curve. Well, to be fair, a couple of these pitches are not the hardest pitches in the world to lay off. Saul has missed by a mile. And he's gone full on Ryan Camacho. No place to put Camacho with the bases loaded and 2 down in the top of the 6th. Here's the 3-2. Called strike 3. Saul strikes out Camacho to end the threat. The Cougars leave them loaded. And we'll head to the bottom of the 6th with AVC still on top, 8-7. It's Marauder Baseball on SoCalCollegeSports.com. Bottom of the 6th. Nuno Camacho, William Joseph due up against left-hander Josh Yosfin. 0-1 on Nuno, who's 1 for 3, a base hit his last time up. Yosfin trying to keep the Marauders close. And you just have the feeling so far with this series that this isn't the end of it. Every run becomes so important. First game of the series went to extras, with the Marauders winning it. This one a one-run game in the 6th. Laced on the right side, but a nice job by Ballesteros to come up with it and retire Nuno for out number 1. That'll bring up Camacho, who's 2 for 3. Well, nice glove work from Ballesteros. Yosfan up on the rubber, ready to go. Fouled back and out of play by Camacho. No balls and a strike. That one right on its way to Mike Cepeda's windshield. And Camacho, with the gaudy numbers coming in. Hitting .367, 4 home runs. He's got the power to take it out if he gets the right pitch, but he's down in the count now. No balls and 2 strikes. Camacho now 4 for 7 in the series with a couple of hits today. Curveball from Yosfan outside for a ball. Camacho with the hits today has now hit in 16 straight. 28 for 71 at the plate over that stretch. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Yosfan ready, 2-2 pitch to Camacho. Went after the breaking ball. He's down on strikes. Well, that time it's Yosfan who shows off the pretty good hook. That one well out of the zone, but Camacho just couldn't lay off. That's a terrific job by Yosfan. who makes his second appearance of the series here today. He went 3 2/3 in the loss on Tuesday. And he starts Joseph off with a strike. Back to the curveball. A ball and a strike on Joseph. 1 for 3. Yasven went 3 2/3. Allowed 2 runs. And at the time he departed, the Marauders had tied it up in the 9th. One and 2 on Joseph. One, 2 from Yasven. Bouncing ball to short. Kane on the short hop. Across to retire the side. 3 up, 3 down for the Marauders. In the 6th, we head to the 7th. 8-7 AVC. It's Marauder Baseball here on SoCalCollegeSports.com. Heading to the 7th. And it'll be Javon Camacho, followed by Mikey Kane and Doyle Kane, top of the order for the Cougars, who trail it 8-7. Marshall Saul back on the hill and ready to go. First pitch to Camacho, back to the screen for ball 1. Saul came on to finish out the 5th inning, and then had an eventful 6th inning where he loaded him up with the help of a fielding miscue behind him, but got out of the inning unscathed. So he has gone 1 1/3 and has been effective as the Marauder Bats have brought them back to this 1-run lead. Fastball outside, 2 balls and a strike on Camacho. Camacho 0 for 3. Walked his last time up. Javon now 1 for 7 in the series, but has walked 3 times. Way outside for a ball. 3-1 on Camacho. Ready to go. Here's the 3-1 pitch. Missed it. Lead-off walk. Camacho on again. And we'll get a conference as they'll come on. And we are going to see a pitching change. Brian Moses is going to make a move as Josh Nuno will come out of left field, literally and figuratively, and take over on the mound. And meanwhile, Joe Uribe will take over in left field as Nuno will come on and become the 5th pitcher of the game. Good job by Saul coming on in the 5th to get the Marauders out of the jam there and limit COC to just 1 run in that inning, and then worked a scoreless 6th, but he gives way to Nuno here in the 7th with a man on and nobody out. And Nuno will come on to face the brothers Kane and then Taft and Hensley. Heart of the order coming up for the Cougars. Josh Nuno on to pitch. And he will face Mikey Doyle with a man on and nobody out. Excuse me, Mikey Kane. So Mikey Kane at the plate with a man on, 1 out. You should say nobody out on top of the 7th. First pitch from Nuno outside for a ball. Here's what's interesting. Nuno now listed as the pitcher, and Joe Uribe into the lineup in left field in the 2nd spot. So is Nuno no longer part of the lineup? And if so, that is not a bat that you want to take out of the lineup as he makes his 2nd appearance on the mound on the season. He's worked 1 inning, allowed 1 hit and no runs. And he'll come on here in the 7th to try and preserve this 1-run lead. 2-0 on Mikey Kane, who is 2 for 3 with a walk, singled and tripled. Good fastball. 2 balls and a strike on Kane. And that looked like a cut fastball from Nuno as well. That action moving away from the right-handed hitting Mike Kane. Into left field for a base hit. This is going to get all the way to the wall. Uribe going to retrieve it, but Camacho off and running, able to round third and come home and score, and it's tied at 8. And that was a hit and run. So Camacho with good speed and gets the added bonus of the jump. And he scores standing up. And the USC-bound Mikey Kane comes up big with a double. So now both brothers have a single, a double, and a triple in the game. And just like that, Nuno is greeted rudely. And the Cougars pull back even at 8. Still nobody out with Doyle Kane at the plate. Nuno ready. Chop foul. So no balls, 2 strikes. And Doyle Kane going to take a little extra time. Down the count, no balls and 2 strikes. We're in the 7th. Fouled away again. Watch the replay here, and this time it's Duarte that gets hit on the foul tip. Saw Garcia earlier. Kane 3 for 4. Slow curve. Bounces back into play as it gets away from Duarte, but on the play, Mikey Kane still alertly able to move up and take third. Watch here as this one doesn't go back to the screen, but rather comes back off of Duarte, but it's great recognition by Mikey Kane, who has that ball right in front of him and is able to take third. A ball and 2 strikes, and also Nuno now in some pain as he went after that ball awkwardly and might have rolled an ankle. So that'll bring out Brian Moses. And meanwhile, some activity starting in the Marauder bullpen. The Cougars with the potential go-ahead run now just 90 feet away. A ball and 2 strikes on Doyle Kane. Still nobody out as they bat in the top of the 7th. And there is a look. Stout warming up. Colin Stout, the right-hander, would be the 6th pitcher for the Marauders. But Nuno, for the moment, is going to stay on. Nuno ready. Popped up. Shallow center moving in. Hagen's got it. And Mikey Kane not going to chance it at third. So 1 down. Taft and Hensley, the batter, outside for ball 1. 1 ball and no strike. Fouled off. Hensley's 0 for 2. Does have 2 walks. Yet to hit the ball out of the infield. But this certainly not unlike the Nate Scott situation. The danger lingers at every at-bat with Hensley, who can change fortunes with 1 swing. 1 ball and 2 strikes as he swings through the fastball from Nuno. Nuno ready. Tried the high fastball again. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Hensley 1 for 1 on Tuesday, but it was a home run. Came in riding a 4-game hit streak, and in those 4 games, he's 7 for 12 at the plate with 3 home runs. 2-2 pitch. Hensley started to offer, but held up. 3 balls and 2 strikes. You do have first base open with Steven Gonzalez on deck. Already saw the Marauders turn a big double play to get out of a jam earlier in the game. That was back in the 3rd when the Cougars had a couple of runners on. 3-2 pitch. He had a cut and fouled it back. Well, he's still a little bit behind that fastball from Nuno. Got him. Nuno strikes out Hensley for out number 2. That is massive. As now it's 2 down. And the potential go-ahead run still at 3rd with Steven Gonzalez coming to the plate. You know, say what you will. The Marauder Arms have certainly done the job on Taft and Hensley today. First pitch swinging, knocked down at 3rd. Johnson going to go across. Dug out by Scott to retire the side. And now it's the Marauder defense that comes up big. First Johnson and then Scott. Take a look at the replay as we take you to break. 7th inning stretch from AVC. We're tied at 8. Cougars and Marauders on SoCalCollegeSports.com. Bottom of the 7th inning, still tied at 8. What a job by Josh Nuno. Worked himself into a bit of a jam, giving up the hit to Mikey Doyle, but ends up stranding the runner at third and preserving the 8-all tie. And that sets the stage for the offensive hero so far today for the Marauders, Nate Scott. Grand slam home run his last time up. He's 1 for 3 in the game. 1 ball and no strikes. Okay, so yeah, they did call that a strike, and now it's even at 1-1. Let's take you back to the replay. This is the first pitch. I'm going to try and slow that down, and boy, oh boy. Hey, I'll tell you, that's a close call, but if Nate Scott went around there, then who didn't go around? Basically, that's about as much of a holdup as you're going to see. And now it's a ball and 2 strikes as Yasfan able to get the called strike on the curveball. Here's the 1-2, back to the curveball low. So 2-2 on Scott. That's a good job by Scott to lay off. And Yasfan, who has been outstanding since coming on, faced 4 batters and retired them all. And he has been a busy man in this series, as now he's gone 5 innings in the 2 games. And still going. 3 balls and 2 strikes on Scott, Puentes, and Duarte to follow. Another tight ball game between these 2 teams. And it's just an extension of Tuesday. Well, I had it at 3-2. But we had a replay or 2 in there. Okay. Yeah, you go back to that first pitch and the called strike, and no doubt the Marauders thinking in the bullpen or in the dugout that they should already have a runner on, but they get him on anyway. Leadoff walk to Scott. So that'll bring up Joe Uribe, and that's, okay, that makes sense, because now Joe Uribe takes over as a left fielder, and they'll keep Nuno's bat in the lineup as the pitcher. So they lose the designated hitter, but Nuno will stay in the lineup effectively as the designated hitter. 1 ball, no strikes on Uribe. Uribe batting .286 on the season, no home runs, 5 runs batted in. Joe Uribe out of Quartz Hill High School in Quartz Hill. Over the inside corner. Count evened up at a ball and a strike. Yasfan making his 13th appearance on the season. A record of 3-1. Came in with an ERA of 4.20. All 13 appearances on the season in relief, yet still finds himself second on the team in innings pitched. He's out of the Mike Marshall School. Mike, you'll have to let me know about a reference that's from this century of a reliever that pitches a lot of innings. It's probably harder to find nowadays. Not quite as commonplace. 1-1. Bunted foul. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Yeah, Mike reminding me I might be asking the wrong person. Is Len Money still around? 1-2 on Uribe. Yasfan ready. Uribe went after the curveball. He's down on strikes. Tried to hold up. Yazvan gets him with the hook. One down. And that'll bring up Nathan Duarte. Duarte with a couple of hits in the game. He's 2 for 3. Well, now what's interesting with Nuno being in the pitcher spot, does that mean that Brian Moses has to think about keeping Nuno in there to keep the bat in the lineup as well? Bounced in by Yazvan. The runner breaks for a second. He's going to make it. So Scott moves up 90 feet on the wild pitch. 1 ball and no strikes on Duarte. Here in the bottom of the 7th. And now it's the Marauders looking for the lead. They shade Duarte just slightly the opposite way. And now Rayner going to go out and have a quick chat with Yazvan, and now he's back behind the plate, and we're ready to go. 1 ball and no strikes. And there is Nathan Duarte. Trying to pick up Scott at second with 1 down. Way high, 2 balls, no strikes on Duarte. Duarte now 4 for 7 in the series. He was 2 for 4 on Tuesday. Had a tough stretch back at the end of February and into March, going 1 for 15. But over his last 4 games, and then including today, he's now 7 for his last 17. So starting to turn it around at the plate. And able to work a walk. So Duarte on. Yazvan has walked 2 batters in the inning. It's first and second. And Zach Terry coming to the plate with 1 out. He's 1 for 2 with a walk. A double his last time up. And how long will they go with Yazvan? Another visit from Chris Cota. 22nd season at the helm here at College of the Canyons. And it's going to be Yazvan continuing, but activity stirring in the Cougar bullpen. And that is Xavier Stoker starting to get loose. Yazvan, who's had a busy week. Now with 2 on and 1 out. Fastball for called strike 1. Terry 1 for 2, came in batting .281. No home runs, 10 runs batted in. Breaking ball low. 1 ball and 1 strike. Terry 1 for 6 in the series. Has been struggling somewhat at the plate over the last couple of weeks. But over a 6-game stretch where his average has dipped below 200, he has still driven in 6 runs, so he's been timely. And this would be just such an occasion. A base hit here could potentially give the Marauders the lead as they bat here in the bottom of the 7th. Curveball drops in for a strike. 2 balls, 2 strikes on Zach Terry. From right here in Lancaster, out of Eastside High School. Two-two pitch from Yasvan. And that was called strike 3, I believe. Correct me if I'm wrong, Michael, but yeah, Terry held up on that one as it dropped down low. Let's watch here on the replay. And he definitely held up, but it was called strike 3 anyway. I got to tell you, I can't either. I mean, that dropped in very low. Well, you know, from that angle, I could see where the call might come from, but boy, when you see it from the other angle, it definitely looked like it crossed low. Either way, Terry down on strikes. Second strikeout of the inning for Yasvan, 3 in the outing. And now it's up to Colin Hagan. 1-0. Hagan with a couple of hits. 2 for 3 as he returns to the lineup in center field here today. Bounced in, and a throw down to first. And they have the runner hung up between first and second. Dropped ball, they'll throw back to third. Everybody's going to be safe. Well, I'm not sure about this. Watch here as they initiate the double steal. And they've really got Duarte in all kinds of trouble. And I think there, I believe that's Mikey Kane. But I think he could still get Duarte, but he makes the decision to throw back across to try and get Scott breaking for third, and everybody ends up being safe. Meanwhile, I have the count at 2-0. As we look in into the Marauder dugout. So a chance here. Hagan still at the plate. Jammed him. Ground ball left side. And they'll throw across to get Hagan at first and retire the side. The Marauders threatened, but come up empty. 2 left on. We'll head to the 8th. All tied at 8. AVC and COC on SoCalCollegeSports.com. Top of the 8th inning, Josh Nuno back on the mound. And he will work to Andy Ambrose to lead things off with the game tied at 8. Nuno ready, kicks and delivers, finds the outside corner for strike 1. Ambrose 1 for 3, also been hit by a pitch. Nuno ready, 0-1 pitch. Breaking ball outside, 1 ball and 1 strike. There's a good look at Nuno. Ground ball to third. Johnson with the long throw. 1 down. That'll bring up Ballesteros. Ballesteros with a couple of hits. He's 2 for 4. You know his first pitch. Missed outside for a ball. Working quickly, the 1-0 to Ballesteros. Swing and a miss at the curve. 1-1. Nuno ready, shot back up the middle off of Nuno. It ricochets back, and Duarte able to get it to first in time, but they'll take a look at Nuno. That was a hot shot back through the box. And we'll take a look at the replay here. And this was one that I believe Nuno took off the body. Yeah, no time to get back through this one, and obviously of considerably less importance than the condition of Nuno is the alert play from Duarte, who was able to come back out, get to that ball, and get Ballesteros at first, but they'll take a look at Nuno, and boy, from any angle you could tell how hard this ball was hit. This was a shot off the bat of Ballesteros. And you got to check in on Josh Nuno. And he's up, so that's a good sign. It's hard to say if that caught him on the upper thigh or maybe up in that hip region. That was coming in pretty high, right around the belt, maybe a little bit below the belt. And, well, I'll tell you, for Nuno, it's a big break that he was turned to the side and was able to take that off the side, because that would have been one heck of an equipment test if that had caught him a little more flush in the front. And they'll let him throw a few tosses and see how he feels. And obviously, if the past is any indication, he's not going to want to come out of the game. He's got 2 down and the base is empty. So not sure how you score that. I believe that's 1, 2, 3. That Ballesteros is retired, but that was a line shot off the bat of Ballesteros, but it goes down as an out, 2 down, base is empty, and Brandon Rayner will be the batter. So Nuno, meanwhile, a chance to get out of the inning. 1, 2, 3, popped up. Back foul and out of play. Heading toward our equipment. No balls and a strike. Well, we haven't lost a camera, Mike, since, about 9 years or so ago at the baseball championship. We've been pretty lucky. Once we stopped putting our cameras in the field of play, they started lasting a lot longer. Called strike 2. No balls, 2 strikes quickly on Rayner. Rayner came on to replace Alex Garcia, and he walked in his first plate appearance. just 3 for 9 on the season. Meanwhile, Nuno quickly back up on the rubber. Wants to get the Marauders back to the plate in an 8-all game. High fastball, and he blew it by him. That'll retire the side. 3 up, 3 down for the Cougars. And we head to the bottom of the 8th, all tied at 8. You're watching Marauder Baseball on SoCalCollegeSports.com. Johnson set to lead things off in the bottom of the 8th, and he fouls away the first offering. No balls and a strike. Josh Yosvan continues on the mound for the Cougars, working into his 3rd inning. He's gone 2 1/3. And he has held the Marauders at 8 runs at the knees, called strike 2 on Johnson. Turning into a pitcher's duel now between Yosvan and Josh Nuno. Another tight game. Game 2 of this 3-game set. Fouled back out of play. Johnson, 2 for 3 at the plate. Couple of singles. Mason Johnson, 0 for 4 on Tuesday. But he came into this series swinging the bat well. He was 8 for 13 in his previous 4 games. He's picking it up here today, now 2 for 7 in the series. No balls and 2 strikes. The lefty Yosvan into the wind. Missed that one way high. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Well, Tuesday went to extra innings. Is it going to be back-to-back? You wouldn't think so. The way that these two teams have been able to score runs. Not just in this series, but on the season. But right now, Nuno and Yosvan pretty dialed in. And you got a feeling that if you can get one across in the next inning, that may be enough. Cut off at 3rd. Ambry showing the range and gets Johnson at first. That ball looked destined for left field. But Ambry's ranging left. And then the strike to first. 1 down. That'll bring up Josh Nuno. Well, it will not bring up Nuno. Who stays? No, it is Nuno. Okay. Yeah, so Nuno, who now is the pitcher, as Uribe comes on at left field, is the batter, and that's on the inside corner, but called inside for a ball. 1 ball and no strikes on Nuno. 1 for 4 in the game today, but he's hit the ball hard, trying to help his own cause. Just high. 2 balls and no strikes. Marauders trying to get it back to 500 on the season. They're 10-11. A win here would move them to 3-5, get them back into the fray in the conference standings. Nuno. That's the Reggie Jackson swing right there. Swing so hard from the left side, you end up down on your knees. I think Reggie was kind of famous for that. I don't know if he went all the way down to his knees, but he had that swing that was so fun to watch. Definitely swing out of his shoes. 3 balls and a strike. There's the curveball just high. You see Rayner wanted it behind the plate, but not getting it. 3-1 on Nuno. He's got the green light. Takes a cut, but comes up empty. 3-2. Well, there's the trust you got in Nuno. 3-1 in a tie game in the 8th, and he's absolutely got the green light if he sees one he likes. Payoff pitch from Yasven. Goes back to the fastball, ripped into right field for a base hit. Nuno with a 1-out single. 2 hits in the game for Nuno, and that's nothing new. Talk about Nuno. Make it 11 for 15 now. Games with 2 or more hits for Josh Nuno. You know he's continuing his baseball career somewhere. 1 on, 1 out. That'll bring up Ariv Camacho. Camacho with a couple of hits in the game, and Yasvan puts another runner on. First pitch swinging. Fly ball right field. Battling the sun. It's Gonzalez, and he makes the catch. 4 out. Number 2. So 2 down as Yasvan gets Camacho. And that will bring up William Joseph, who is 1 for 4, a double all the way back in the first. Couple of runs batted in for Joseph. Joseph's now 2 for 9 in the series. Excuse me, 2 for 10 in the series. Fastball from Yasvan in for a strike. Well, run production has been the calling card for William Joseph this season. He's had 2 games this season in which he's had 5 runs batted in. And in fact, he's had, I want to say 6 games in which he's had 3 or more. So he has been a solid run producer in the middle of that order all season long. This would be a heck of a time for him to come up with something in the gap for the Marauders. Bouncing ball. Ballesteros will go to first to retire the side. We head to the 9th. Nothing resolved. We're tied at 8. It's Marauder Baseball. SoCalCollegeSports.com. Josh Nuno out to start the ninth. First pitch in for a strike. He'll face Ryan Camacho, then Javon Camacho, and then Mikey Kane. 9-1-2 due up for the Cougars. Game tied at 8. Popped back, foul and out of play. Quickly, no balls and 2 strikes. Nuno came on in the 5th. Has now worked 3 1/3 in this one. Allowed the 1 run to get it back to a tie game. Slow chopper on the left side. Johnson's throw in time to get the speedy Camacho at first. Well, Mason Johnson did not have a lot of time, but able to get the throw off quickly and get Camacho by a half a step. 1 down. And that'll bring up Javon Camacho. 0 for 3, but he's walked his last 2 times up. Camacho, 1 for 7 in the series. Came in riding a 7-game hit streak. And he's had an interesting season. As that pitch inside for a ball. 1 ball, no strikes on Javon Camacho. He started out very slowly this season, 0 for 12 in his first 5 games. But then he missed 5 games. And since he's come back, he's had multiple hits in 6 out of 12 games, and he came in today riding a 7-game hit streak. Nuno ready. Got a piece of him. Base runner for the Cougars as Camacho is on again. 3rd time today he's been on without a hit. 2 walks, and now he's hit by the pitch. So runner at first, 1 down. And now it's the first of the 2 Kane brothers. Mikey coming to the plate. They've been a 2-man wrecking crew today. A combined 6 for 9 with a walk at the plate. So things tough for Nuno. Ripped on the left side. This is a fair ball down into the corner. Mikey Kane comes up big again. They're going to wave Camacho around third. He will score without a play. Well, what can you say? 4 for 5 on the day for Mikey Kane. Another double. He's got 3 extra base hits in the game. And Camacho with good speed at the top of the order, and he's able to score standing up. And the Cougars go back out in front 9-8. They did carry a 1-run lead into the 9th inning on Tuesday. But Antelope Valley was able to score in the 9th to extend the game and then win it in extra innings. They're going to have to do that again. And they're going to have to hope that it's just 1 run that they have to come up with. Because right now, it's 9-8. But Kane's at second, and there's still only 1 out. Now, what are they going to do with Nuno? He'll be done on the mound, and he did just bat in the last inning. So if they take Nuno out, or they might put him back in left field, but he might go on right field. They do that a lot where Nuno moves from left to right, and they replace William Joseph in right. Either way, we'll have a new pitcher. We'll step aside. Yeah, we're showing you the replay there, and I don't know if you can see this, but yeah, Nuno, or who was that? Was that Nuno? Yeah, Nuno going to come over and give the personal congratulations, to Mikey Kane at second base for winning that duel, presumably, as he did, and they take the lead 9-8. We'll come back, tell you about the new pitcher, and set the lineup for you. We're in the 9th. Cougars back out in front. You're watching AVC Baseball on SoCalCollegeSports.com. Right-hander Colin Stout out of Quartz Hill High School. On to try and keep the Marauders within one as he'll replace Josh Nuno. He is the 6th pitcher of the game for the Marauders. And he'll work to Doyle Kane. Stout making his 6th appearance of the season. No record in ERA of 5.06. In 5 1/3 innings of work. First pitch to Kane, in for a strike. Now this becomes a key moment for the Marauders. Really like to keep it to a 1-run deficit looking ahead to the 9th, but it's not going to be easy to do with Doyle Kane and then Hensley due up. That one gets away from Duarte, and a late throw down, and that's into center field. But after all that, Mikey Kane not going anywhere. He wasn't going anywhere, but he's straight off the bag. That drew the throw from Duarte trying to get back, and the throw was into center field. But still, Mikey Kane not going anywhere. So it's a ball and a strike. Doyle Kane 3 for 5 in the game. Single, a double, and a triple. Bouncing ball. Foul. 1 and 2. Boy, just that close to trouble. That's just a look at the replay and past the diving Mason Johnson at third. Boy, that's less than a foot. Let's bring you back live. And it's 1 and 2. Stout checks the runner. Breaking ball outside. 2 and 2. Doyle Kane now 6 for 10 in the series. 4 extra base hits. Ground ball third. Johnson looks the runner back. 2 down. And that'll bring up Hensley. Hensley's had a quiet day at the plate. He's 0 for 3 with a couple of walks. And again with first base open. Let's see if Stout elects to work carefully. Outside for a ball. 1 ball and no strikes. Nate Scott will lead things off in the bottom of the 9th. That one skips away from Duarte. Stout bounced it in, and Kane going to easily take third. Meanwhile, it's 2 balls and no strikes on Hensley. And Hensley will head down to first with the intentional walk. So runners at the corners. With 2 down, we're in the top of the 9th, and COC leading at 9-8. That'll bring up Gonzalez. I believe that was the new rule there, Michael, with the, well, the rule's now a year or 2 old. They didn't bother with the formality of the pitches. Just send them down there. 1 ball, no strikes. Stout ready. Low for ball 2. Hensley going to move up and take second. 2 balls and no strikes, and indeed that'll take the force play out of the equation, but it does open up first base again with Gonzalez ahead in the count. 2 balls and no strikes. Slow curve outside, 3 balls and no strikes. And again, it appears as though Stout going to be willing to not give in to Gonzalez here and instead perhaps take his chances with Andy Ambrose. Good fastball for a strike. 3-1 on Gonzalez. 0 for 2 with a sacrifice fly and a walk at the plate today. 3-1 from Stout. Low ball 4. That'll load him up. Ambrose is 1 for 4. He's been hit by a pitch. He's now 2 for 9 in the series. Ambrose has hit in 11 of his last 12. And in the one game where he didn't have a hit, he walked 3 times. So he's been getting on of late. Ripped into left center field, and a tremendous catch by Hagen. Well, that may be yet a game saver before it's all said and done. Let's see what happens in the bottom of the 9th. But this ball is laced by Ambrose, but Hagen able to make the catch and then into the tumble. But he comes up with it, and the Marauders will go to work in the bottom of the 9th, trailing it by just 1, 9-8. You're watching AVC Baseball on SoCalCollegeSports.com. Josh Yosfan will try to close it out for the Cougars, who lead at 9-8. First pitch to Scott at the knees, called strike 1. Yosfan came in with 2 outs in the 5th. He has gone 3 1/3, and right now stands to pick up the win, as he is not allowed a run. 1-1. The count on Nate Scott. Scott 1 for 3 with a walk, but what a one. The grand slam back in the 5th that tied the game at 7 at the time. AVC would take a brief 8-7 lead, but the Cougars would come back with 2 runs themselves, and they have the 9-8 lead here in the 9th. Inside, 3 balls and a strike on Scott. Well, Yosfan has kept the Marauders off the scoreboard, but the Marauders had a couple of runners on in the 7th, had another runner on in the 8th. They've had some chances, but haven't been able to come up with the hit they need so far against Yosfan. That one out of play. 3-2, the count now on Scott. Got him. Went to the fastball and threw it by Scott. Yasvan gets the strikeout to start the ninth. Cougars trying to break the 2-game losing streak. Get back within a game of 500. This would move them to 11-12 on the season and 5-3 in conference play if they can close it out. First pitch swung on, fly ball, deep center field, moving back to the wall. It's gone! All tied at 9 again. Joe Uribe. Man, oh man. Take a look at it again. And it's a fastball, belt high, inner half. Well, when you call for room service at the plate, that's what you're hoping they'll bring you. And Uribe didn't miss it. And we are tied at 9. Well, game 1 went to extras. Let's see how Yasvan responds. Misses inside for a ball. Can the Marauders perhaps scratch one more across and pull out another win against this Cougar team? Here's the 1-0. Swing and a miss. 1-1 on Duarte. Duarte is 2 for 3 with a walk in the game. Outside. 2-1. Well, Yasvan has been lights out. But finally, the Marauders broke through. And how big is the play now by Colin Hagan with the bases loaded as Duarte works a 1-out walk, and now the Marauders have the potential winning run at first with 1 down. But you go back, that's bases loaded. That ball's lined into left center. Hagan doesn't come up with that ball. It's a 4-run lead. And the home run for Uribe is little more than a really nice highlight at this point. Instead, it's a tie ball game, and now Duarte represents the potential winning run. Here's Zach Terry. Quick throw over, and Duarte back. Terry's 1 for 3 with a walk. Struck out his last time up. Breaking ball low. 1 ball, no strikes. You're Terry in this situation. Love to be able to get Duarte at least over to second. Give yourself a chance with a runner in scoring position and 2 down. See if you can come up with a base hit. Another throw over. And that might just be the thinking for Canyons. They really want to keep Duarte away from second. Line drive, knocked down by Kane. Gets to his feet, but he can't get Terry at first. It's going to be an infield hit for Terry, but with that ball heading toward left center, maybe keeps Duarte from ending up at third. This is nearly a sensational catch. Watch Kane as he elevates, but that's just how hard that ball was hit. Because Kane gets a glove on it, but that ball really just more or less rips through the glove. And that's a great job by Kane to keep it on the infield. And perhaps rob Terry of what might have been extra bases and maybe even a game winner if that one gets into the gap and maybe gets all the way to the wall. Instead, it's first and second with 1 out. And now the batter is Colin Hagan. Well, he was the hero with the glove. I believe we've got a pinch hitter. Let's see. Check that. Omar Santamaria with a chance to be the hero. And the first pitch misses low for a ball. There is Omar Santamaria out of Ventura, St. Bonaventure High School, in for a strike. A ball and a strike on Santamaria. 6 for 27 at the plate on the season is Santamaria. No home runs, 2 runs batted in. 1-1 pitch. Curveball, a beauty. 1-2. No chance for Omar Santamaria on that one. 1-2. Back to the curveball. It's a base hit to right. Coming up with it, it's Gonzalez. Gonzalez throw, not in time. The Marauders with the walk-off. Omar Santamaria. Well, this one had the last team up was going to win it written all over it right from the start. Back and forth. First it's Uribe, and then Duarte, Terry, and then Santamaria. A walk and 2 singles. And AVC makes it 2 straight in this 3-game series with a thrilling 10-9 win. We're going to show you the replay. What a great piece of hitting from Santamaria. That's a curveball. He adjusts well on the outside corner, doesn't try to do too much, takes it the opposite way. Gonzalez charges. But again, similar to a play we saw earlier, that ball dies in the longer grass out there in the outfield. It took a little while to get to Gonzalez. That bought Duarte the time that he needed. Got a good jump, rounded third, and came home to score easily. Watch this one here. Gonzalez comes up with it, but Duarte with a great jump beats the throw, and here come the Marauders right at you as they're trying to find Omar Santamaria. And a 10-9 win. What a win for AVC. They've now won 3 of their last 4. And they are back to 500 on the season, 11-11. And maybe that's something that can get this team really going. They're 3-5 in conference play. Mike's going to go see if he can grab an interview real quick. We'll hang out here for a second, come back and wrap things up from Lancaster. AVC, the 10-9 win here on SoCalCollegeSports.com.
Check. Zoom in on him. Coach, you can
Joined by Coach Brian Moses. And, Coach, thanks so much for taking the time. Thrilling win. You almost had to go a little bit extra time there, but you got in just under the wire there with the win in the ninth. Let's talk a little bit about that last at-bat. Omar Santamaria comes up to hit for Colin Hagan. Talk a little bit about that decision and then the at-bat for Santamaria where he came up so big.
Yeah, no, first of all, thanks for covering us. You guys do a great job. But with Omar, he's definitely a singles guy. And I was only going to use him if there was a runner in scoring position. Otherwise, we were going to let Colin Hagan hit there. But we did get a guy in scoring position, and I just like Omar. He's really tough to strike out. Goes the other way well, and he did a good job of that in that at-bat. So that's why I used him.
Yeah, that scouting report couldn't be more accurate. That was a great at-bat. He was really frozen by the curveball right before that last pitch. And then, Yaspe goes back, and he goes back to the same pitch. And it was a great adjustment by Santamaria. Did anything about that surprise you that he was on that pitch and took it the other way?
Not at all, because he's really tough to get twice. I was actually happy that he got a fastball and a breaking ball early, because really with Omar, he just needs to see it once. And I do think that he left that pitch up. But Omar did stay balanced and use the right side there. Did a nice job.
Earlier in that inning, there was quite a jolt that Joe Uribe ended up tying up that game, his first home run of the year. And how about that at bat? Because that was a no-doubter, the deepest part of the park, and he cleared it by several feet.
Well, if I told you I expected that, I'd be lying. Joe has he's got a little juice. It's hidden. We haven't seen it in BP to dead center, and there's really not a lot of wind today. But that ball was really hit well, and he kind of sat on a fastball at his belt and got it and stayed through it, and he should feel really good about himself.
This is 2 wins in a row now in extra innings for this team. You guys have been a little all over the place, back and forth this season, some wins, some losses, not much of a streak. What can something like that do for this team? Is it something that can really build confidence and maybe start a streak, or maybe is that a little overstated?
You know, I probably overstated. It just depends on what we get out of our pitching. You know, we mix and match, and we really don't go with true starters. We kind of pitch by committee, and who's hot gets the ball, and then we try to play the righty-lefty game, and so it depends. I mean, we need to be holding teams to less than COC scored today. So if we get better outings from our pitching and we could stay in games more, I think we could put some things together. But that's certainly a jolt, though. There's no question about it. I mean, we feel really good about that game.
Josh Nuno comes out and has a strong outing on the mound. That's just the second time that he has appeared on the mound. Is that something that you would consider having a larger role for him as a pitcher moving forward? I know it's only 2 outings, but he's been pretty effective so far.
Him and Will Joseph are getting more innings now. Will Joseph was our starting right fielder today, so we've got a couple position players in our bullpen now. So, yeah, I mean, I think that we're looking at that more. I'm not going to lie to you. I mean, we're worried about it because when we put him in, we lose the DH, and, you know, it's a lot of strain on him. He got injured last year, so we've been moving him along slowly. I have to try to stop him from, you know, being such a psychopath. But other than that, he did throw a good game and kept us in that, and he's another guy that really should be proud of himself.
Last question for you, Coach. We've covered 3C2A baseball for a while now, so I know to ask this question. Josh Nuno and William Joseph, did you approach them about pitching, or did they approach you about pitching?
Well, Will Joseph's been bothering me about it since I called him in the summer, telling him I was the new head coach. So Will approached me, and then some of the players were really on me in the fall about Josh Nuno pitching. But the secret to that is we didn't have him in the fall. We actually got him back at the beginning of the spring semester, which is why it's taken him long to kind of find that identity.
Congratulations again, Coach, on a great win today. Thanks so much for taking the time to join us.
Hey, appreciate it. Thanks again for covering us. Appreciate it.
No problem. We'll come back, wrap things up from Lancaster here on SoCalCollegeSports.com.
Story enough?